Hi, Sophie.
Hi, B.
What have you been working on at university?
And in university, I'm drawing paint for my class is illustration.
What have you been thinking about your studies?
My studies so a little difficult, but my future is so special.
What have you focused on in school?
And the project for the last week.
What have you been reading about?
And I haven't reading.
What series have you been watching on TV?
And Jessie for Disney Channel.
What have you been studying for your exams?
Is the signal for present and future the world.
Have you read any recent books?
No, I haven't.
How have you been progressing in your habits?
Sleeping early and healthy early.
What have you been doing this week?
Study and go to gym.
What have you been eating this week?
Kitchen and snack.
Okay, bye. Hi.
Hi,
What have you been working on at university?
I don't work at the moment.
What have you been thinking about your studies?
Well, doing well
What have you focused on in school?
in everything and get good grades.
What have you been reading about?
No,
What series have you been watching on TV?
I don't watch series.
What have you been studying for your exams?
Account formulas.
Have you read any recent books?
Yes, of course.
How have you been progressing in your habits?
Well, little be little.
What have you been doing this week?
I be been practicing and studying.
What have you been eating this week?
Right meal.
Thanks. Hi, Hector.
Hi, Jenny.
What have you been working on at university?
I haven't worked
What have you been thinking about your studies?
so far nothing.
What have you focused on in school?
In my career science, it is interesting.
What have you been reading about?
No,
What series have you been watching on TV?
the one about breaking up.
What have you been studying for your exams?
Yes, lately,
Have you read any recent books?
no,
How have you been progressing in your habits?
good.
What have you been doing this week?
Just study
What have you been
fruit
eating this
and
week?
vegetables.
Thanks. Hi, Alanis.
Hi, bien.
What have you been working on at university?
Mm, I work in a team for my forum.
What have you been thinking about your studies?
I studied for my exam for contability.
What have you focused on?
I think it's not good.
What have you been reading about?
Um, I haven't read
What's,
recently.
what series have you been watching on TV?
I I'm watching series Kindle.
What have you been studying for your exams?
I study for my exams for contability.
Have you read any recent books?
No, I haven't.
How have you been progressing in your habits?
Yes, I have.
What have you been doing this week?
Um, I haven't plans for my week.
What have you been eating this week?
I don't know. Fruits, perdón.
Thanks. Bye. Hi. Hi. What have you been working at university? In my task. What have you been thinking about your studies? That I still have a lot to learn, but I love my career. What have you focused On in school? No. What have you been reading about? No. What series have you been watching on televisions? No. What have you been studying for your exams? My notes. Have you read any recent books? Not yet, but I'd like to read The Boulevard. How have you been progressing in your habits? It's been hard for me, but I am a better person every day. What have you been doing this week? I go to the gym. What have you been eating this week? Chicken and vegetables. Okay, thanks. Yeah.